This tutorial will show you how to make your class lists using that Skyward roster that you downloaded from Skyward. This way you can create them outside of your class time and you do not have to have your students signed into the Chromebooks to do this. Make sure you have some knowledge of how to manipulate spreadsheets in order to make this happen. So first you're going to access the Skyward copy of your student rosters, which has your students' usernames separated by class period. You will then click on the link that gives you this document here asking you to make a copy of the Create Class List from Skyward roster. You do want to make your own copy. Once you create that copy, you're going to have your own spreadsheet with which to paste your data from your Skyward roster. So I'm going to paste it first starting here at A2, and I'll paste the data. That's my students' email addresses. I need to use the full email address for this part. I will then select and highlight all of the addresses, and I'm going to use the data menu to separate the usernames from the rest of the email address. So I go to my data menu, I select split text to columns, and it says separator. I want to say a custom separator here, and I'm going to use the @ sign. That will automatically split out the username from the email address. At this point, I just need to copy the student usernames, and I'm going to move to a new spreadsheet. On my new spreadsheet, column A, cell 1, I'm going to paste the usernames. I need to title my spreadsheet period 1, or whatever is appropriate for that class period. And now I want to save this file as a CSV file. So I'll go to File, Download, and download as a CSV, separated value file. This will then give me a spreadsheet that I can use to import into the LanSchool console. Now we're going to head to the LanSchool teacher console and access our class list button. Remember, if your window isn't wide enough, you may have more menus off to the side using these arrows. I'm going to select my class list and I'm going to manage class lists. And I want to import that CSV file that I just downloaded. So I select Import Students. I find that CSV file on my computer. I click Open. That will then load the student names here. Now we must save it as an LSC file, which we're able to do. And now I have the LSC file available to me. So when I go to my class list, I can choose to load class list and load that LSC file that I just created, and my students will then be loaded into my teacher console. There may come a time when you need to edit the class list you've already created. The easiest way to do that is go back to your class lists, choose Manage Class Lists, and here we're going to go to Open, and we're going to open the LSC file that we saved previously. When I open that file, my students will now be listed here. I can then select a student and remove that student if they have left my class, or I can browse for new students if I want to add new students. This will allow me to then edit my list here and then choose to save as my LSC file. I would want to overwrite the previously saved file to reflect those changes.